then the situation that our misfortune increases. When apparently some misfortune happens, we have another option. We have option to turn to God, seek grace and shelter in God. If anything happens in life, we can see from the perspective that as seeing it as a mercy of God, taking shelter of God, praying to God, or expressing our gratitude to God. If you are able to choose second option, then actually we become really fortunate. We see His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj, when he got cancer, he wrote a book, Die Before You Die. In that he writes, God's mercy comes in various ways. So he says, one way God's mercy comes is mercy coming from the front. Mercy coming from the front means we get what we want in life. Oh, we want good grades in college, we want good job, we get good job, want to marry wonderful spouse, we get to marry wonderful spouse. We want whatever, we want a great salary, we want promotion. So whatever we are wanting, desiring, we get what we want. That is called as mercy from the front. Then there is mercy from the side. Mercy from side means we get beyond our expectation. Like we give exam and we are hoping, we are not sure whether we will pass or fail. Maybe we are thinking we will fail, and results come, and we come to know we have become topper in the class. Haribo. Or sometimes we are worried we will be laid off, or what will happen, whether my job I will survive or not. And then we are promoted and we are made CEO of the company, all of a sudden. So we are not expecting, but somehow something happens in life which is beyond our expectation. Oh, this is mercy coming from side, beyond our expectation. And then there is mercy coming from behind. Mercy coming from behind means we think, may this never happen in my life. And that happens. We are expecting to be topper in class, and we go to get the result and we see we have failed in exam. We are expecting that we will be promoted in college, promoted in our job, and we get layoff. We are thrown out of the company. So all of a sudden, big shock. So this is mercy from behind. So we get great challenges, we get setbacks, which makes us to pause and think. So we see that whatever challenges or whatever so-called misfortunes you said, we can see in Srimad Bhagavatam many characters also going through this misfortune. We see life of Avanti Brahmana. He also he lost he was a very rich man, very wealthy. But all of a sudden it so happened that he lost all his money. He became bankrupt. All his relatives, family members threw him out of the house. He just became completely miserable. One minute. Similarly, we see life of Parikshit Maharaj. All of a sudden, he was emperor of the whole world. He was young, and he had a wonderful family, but all of a sudden, he was cursed. He was cursed to die within 7 days. What a misfortune, isn't it? He was on top of the world. All of a sudden, he was given notice of death. But we see how he responded. As soon as he heard that he has 7 days to live, immediately he made his son as next emperor. Immediately left palace, went on banks of Ganga, and as soon as he came to Ganges, all saintly people came to see his departure. And when he saw all saintly people, he offered obeisance to him and prayed to them. Punasya bhuyad bhagavati anante rati prasangasya dashreshu matsuyamyam upayami shrishtim maitristu sarvatra namo dvijebhya. He said, my dear saintly devotees, Punasya bhuyad, even if I would take birth again, no problem. But please bless me. Bhagavati Anante Rati. May I have attachment to Supreme Personal Godhead. May I have association of those devotees who are attached to Supreme Personal Godhead. And may I have friendly relationship with all. So that these are 3 blessings he asked. May I be attached to lotus feet of Lord. May I get association of those who are attached to lotus feet of Lord. And may I have friendly relationship. Prabhupada writes, he asked for a pattern of life which is the best in this material world. If we have this thing in life, whether we live in this material world or we die and take birth again with this facility, there is no difference. It's like living in kingdom of God only. And when he got blessings of all the devotees, later on he got association of another very exalted personality, Sukadeva Goswami. And as soon as he received the association of Sukadeva Goswami, he asked 2 questions. What are 2 questions he asked? What is duty of every human being? And especially what is duty of a person who is about to die? And Sukadeva Goswami answered, Tasmat Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smartavya Ichita Bhayam. Sukadeva Goswami explained that duty of every human being, and especially one who is about to die, is to Shrotavya, hear about Krishna, Kirtavya, chant the glories of Krishna, Smartavya, remember Krishna. This is the prime duty of life. Duty of life is not just to become a billionaire or trillionaire or win Olympic gold or to get Nobel Prize or something like that, or to become most famous. But goal of life is to actually remember God, and especially by remembering God, cross over this real problem of life, that is death. Mrutyurma amrutam gavai, become immortal. So, according to Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam scriptures, what is real fortune? If we are able to remember God whole life, and especially at time of death, that is our real fortune. Because if we are able to do that, we can solve the real problem of life. We can solve the problem of birth, old, or death. We can solve all problems, Adhyatmik, Adhibhautik, Adhyavik, by going back to the kingdom of God. So if we think from objective point of view, whatever fortune in this world is there, whether it's fortune or misfortune, it will be difficult to judge. But if we are able to remember God, if we are able to get association devotees of God, or if we are able to do something that takes us closer to God, that is actually real fortune. Therefore, we see Kunti Maharani praying, Vipada Santuta Shashvat तत्र तत्र जगद्गुरो भवतो दर्शनम यत् स्यात् अपुनर्भव दर्शनम. Kunti Maharaj, her life is full of difficulties, calamities, right from her childhood. But when Krishna, after battle of Krishna, made Yudhishthira Maharaj her son as a king, emperor of the whole world, and when he was about to leave to Dwarka, he said, "My dear Krishna, you should not leave. How can we live without you?" He said, "I saw in my life, whenever there was calamity, I remembered you. And whenever we remembered you, you were there. And now all calamities are gone. Now my son has become emperor of the whole world. So you are going. Does that mean it requires calamity to have you? If a prerequisite to have you is calamity, then let there be calamity in my life. Because vipada santashas, let there be calamities. Because whenever there are calamities, we are able to remember you, and when we are able to remember you, we are able to see you. And seeing you means apunarbhava darshanam. No more seeing birth and death. So, if you are able to remember Krishna, God, we become free from cycle of birth and death and go back to Godhead. So therefore, remembering Krishna is actually real good fortune. And to forget Krishna is real misfortune. Because it entangles us in this material world, in repeated cycle of birth and death. So, as we are discussing that, different characters in, we are seeing about Avanti Bhavana. Avanti Brahman, he lost all wealth, and his family members all rejected him. But then, because in childhood he was devotee, he was again able to remember Krishna and again take to Krishna consciousness. And then he took Krishna so seriously that he perfected his life and went back to Godhead. And we see Krishna is glorifying him in 11th canto when he is talking to Uddhava and he is chanting the song sung by this Avanti Brahmana. Avanti Brahmana is saying, Etam sastaya paratma nishtam adhyasitam purvatamair maharshibi am tarishyami duranta param tamo mukundangri nishevaiva. Though he had so many difficulties, he was not disturbed or distracted by difficulties. But he was very determined. He said, I shall cross over this insurmountable ocean of science by being firmly fixed in service of Lotus feet of Krishna. This was approved by previous Acharyas who were fixed in firm devotion to Supreme Lord. So apparently he lost money, but then he became fixed up in service of Krishna and he achieved Krishna. He lost Lakshmi, but he got Lakshmipati. In material life he had some temporary problems, but then he became qualified to go back to Kingdom of God. When we receive Krishna, that is actually absolute good. We see in Bhagavatam in the beginning, sages ask, what is ultimate good and absolute good? In this material world, there is nothing absolute good. Everything, there are dualities. So, sages explain this, Sudha Goswami explained, absolute good. There is only one thing, absolute good in this world, which is also ultimate good. That is, Savai Pumsa Paro Dharma Yato Bhakti Radakshya. Ahituki Apratiyata Yayatma Suprasiddhiti. This bhakti to Krishna, remembering Krishna, serving Krishna is absolute good. It has no negative effects. And if you are able to serve Krishna, remember Krishna, it can completely satisfy heart, which our heart is hankering for. Any material activity you take, it has side effects. Always, there will be, you try to do something good also, there will be something bad. So bhakti or service to Krishna is only absolute good. There is nothing bad about it. So, can you remember something material good in this world? Some material good. So, some people can tell some material good, and then other people will tell some bad side of that. Money, yes. Money is good. What is bad side of it? Is it absolutely good? Huh? Krishna tells in Bhagavatam 11th canto 23rd chapter, 15 ill effects of money. He said, and especially when we become greedy for money, there's always anxiety. To earn money, there is anxiety. To protect money, there is anxiety. So 11:23, 18, 19, 20. I can show you the verses. So there are a lot of, Bhagavatam is there. Let me see. Some. Eleven 23 19. Okay. You reply? You're not seeing how it is not seeing?